and thanks for joining us on NTA ILORIN Weekend Report. I am Abdulwahid Bibire. First, the highlights. Kwara State Police Command debunks redeployment of State Commissioner of Police. Stakeholders at a town hall meeting endorses Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak for second term. We also have some reports that made headlines during the week, plus update from the world of sports and weather forecast. Details in a moment. The Kwara State Police Command has debunked a social media account claiming that the command's Commissioner of Police, Paul Oda, has been redeployed by the Inspector General of Police. A statement by the spokesperson of the Kwara State Police Command, SP Ajayi Okasomi, said the news is fake and false in its entirety. Paul Odama, according to the statement, was recently posted to Kwara State on provisional ground and had since been confirmed by the Police Service Commission. Fake news, the statement added, is a criminal offense, especially if it is capable of causing fear or anxiety among the citizens, and advised the perpetrators of fake news to desist from it. The command, however, restated their commitments to continue to work in partnership with relevant agencies in the state, including the press, for a crime-free society. Meanwhile, stakeholders at a town hall meeting in Oro said various programs and projects executed under the administration of Governor Abdurrahman Abdulrazak are enough to earn him another mandate from the people. Raliat Ibrahim covered the town hall meeting and our report.
The town hall meeting in Oro, Irepodu local government area, which is the second being held by the governor, provides an opportunity for the governor and other government officials to give their scorecard. The governor spelled out achievements of his administration in various sectors while acknowledging the support of the people.
You can judge this government by what we are doing, and you can superimpose it on what the previous administration has done. This is a good government. We're progressing further. We're going to do much more in terms of investment, job creation, youth empowerment, gender equity. For example, we're going to do a master plan for Oro, Omaron, down to Ekiti. That's its physical master plan. The same way we're going to do of our new development master plan.
Other political office holders and appointees also enumerated impacts made in the areas of job creation, youth empowerment and socio-economic development, among others.
Our budget is now transparent. We now go to each senatorial district to ask them what they want, then we implement.
This is an opportunity for us to itemize road projects carried out throughout the state and particularly from Irepodu.
Community leaders and members appreciated the state government for positively impacting on the people and recommended that improvements be made in particular sectors, which the governor promised to work on. The town hall meeting was attended by people from Irepodu and Eastern local government areas. Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
In a bid to further strengthen civil-military relations and ensuring watertight security during the Yuletide, the Headquarters 22 Armored Brigade has inaugurated Exercise Stillwater 2 at Iyana in Saragi District, a local government area of Kwara State. Olajide Bello reports that the brigade commander Headquarters 22 Armored Brigade, Brigadier General Adebayo Babalola, alongside sister security agencies and the traditional institution, inaugurated the exercise.
The inauguration of Exercise Stillwaters 2 began with a facility tour of the area of operations of troops by the Brigade Commander, Headquarters 22 Armored Brigade, Brigadier General Adebayo Babalola.
We are going to pursue criminals to all their hideouts in order
to ensure that our law-abiding citizens sleep with their 2 eyes closed.
And men of the Headquarters 22 Armored Brigade of the Nigerian Army pitched their area of operation base at Iyana in Saragi District, Edu local government area of Kwara State, in line with the directive of the Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Farouk Yahya, to beef up security nationwide during the Yuletide.
In terms of looking at areas we can directly support the society, medical outreach, and provide basic needs for the people, so that they will know that their military is not only just for fighting, but it's also for the people's welfare. Exercise Stillwater is not for the military alone, even though we are to drive it. It involves all the other security agencies.
It's Saragi, His Royal Highness Ali Opoto, and Olukpako of Share, His Royal Highness Haruna Adigbite II, lauded the initiative of the Army, saying it will further enhance civil-military relations.
They are here to protect us. They are here to add value to our security existence.
To also seek a collaboration between the other security agencies, our local hunters and vigilantes, because they know better the nook and crannies of our areas.
For instance, if Elodun happens to have been confronted with a lot of security challenges.
Exercise Stillwaters 2 will last till 22nd of December 2022, on Large Day, Bello, NTA News.
The new Vice-Chancellor of the University of Ilorin, Professor Abdulwahab Olasuko Egbewole, says his vision is to see the university attain a global reckoning as a 21st century university and best in Africa. He disclosed these on assumption of office as the 11th Vice-Chancellor of the institution. Again, Raliat Ibrahim has the details.
What a joyous way for the university auditorium to come back to life once again. Dignitaries, particularly from the academia, the law profession, University of Ilorin community, and well-wishers converged for the formal assumption of office of the 11th Vice-Chancellor of the university. Professor Wahab Olasuko Egbewole's inaugural address, titled "The Sun Rises Again," spells out the Vice-Chancellor's planned operational blueprints. His goals are geared towards sustainable development, monumental achievements, adaptive capacity, rapid response to change, and team building.
It is apposite to emphasize that the SMART mantra for a smart university that I envision will be geared towards achieving the vision of the university, which is to be an international center of excellence in learning, research, probity, and service to humanity.
A former Vice-Chancellor of the Federal University of Technology, Minna, and Al-Hikma University, Ilorin, Professor Musbau Akanji, who spoke on the challenges facing the appointment of Vice-Chancellors, noted that the choice of Professor Egbewole as the 11th Vice-Chancellor is based on merit, urging him to make excellence and accountability his watchwords.
An unbiased appraisal will show that a non-indigene is free from encumbrances associated with undue influence of local laws. The above position does not in any way advocate for non-consideration of indigenes of cities or states where universities are cited from being considered for vice-chancellorship.
In actualizing those lofty dreams for the university, the new VC cannot do it alone. He needs our support and prayers to succeed.
The new Vice-Chancellor, Professor Wahab Olasuko Egbewole, holds a PhD in law and jurisprudence. He is a senior advocate of Nigeria. He has been in the University of Ilorin for the past 25 years before his appointment as the 11th Vice-Chancellor of the university. From the University of Ilorin Auditorium, Raliat Ibrahim, NTA News.
Nigerians resident in Ilorin, the Kwara State capital, have observed that granting full autonomy to local government administration and the amendment of some sections in Nigeria's constitution will enhance development at the local government level. Our next report examines the level of infrastructural development at the grassroots in Kwara State, the challenges and the way forward.
Kwara State, which was created in 1967 as 16 local councils across the state, The state is endowed with not less than 17 mineral resources. The local government, by structure of federalism system of government, is the third tier of government and the closest to the people at the grassroots. As the third tier of government, local councils are saddled with some responsibilities which include construction of basic health centers, basic public schools, and other social amenities. But then, how well has local government councils performed in Kwara State?
It was very marvelous then. That time, local government was autonomous. It was run independently, no interference from the state. The allocation comes directly to the local government. Nobody deducts it, so we can plan ahead on what we have. The way forward is to revert back to the old days. Let there be autonomy. Let the local government be independent. Let them run their own affairs.
An Ilorin-based legal practitioner, Ibu Muhammad Aruna, said the inability of local councils to perform as expected is because of the ambiguity in the powers of state governors over local councils.
The government that is closer or the closest to the masses is the local government. If you don't give them funds, how will they carry out projects? Unfortunately today, you will see most governors celebrating projects that should be done by local governments. This will not help our democracy.
The Commissioner for Local Government and Chieftaincy Affairs in Kwara State, Mohammed Aliyu Korasabi, comments on the performance of local councils in the state.
The fact that we have the TIC in place, if you go around to the local government, the 16 local government areas, you will see that all the TIC chairmen are doing their best in terms of infrastructural development. Some of the TIC chairmen are building classrooms, market stores, building and grading roads.
Tonight on NTA ILORIN Weekend Report, we're going to take a look at local government administration in Nigeria, challenges and solution. That's our discussion for tonight. And already the guest is in the studio, is no any other person than Dr. Adebola Bakare. Dr. Adebola Bakare, it's good to have you on NTA ILORIN Weekend Report.
Thanks for inviting me.
Dr. Bakare is from the Department of Political Science, University of Ilorin. You just watched that background report. It's talking about local government administration in Nigeria, challenges and solution profile by some people. But let's start by looking at Nigerian constitution generally. Are we really operating federalism system of government that guarantees a third tier of government?
Well, you see, you have raised a very fundamental issue in the history of politics and governance in Nigeria. You see, as regards to local government administration in Nigeria, the problem is the constitution itself. Because the constitution itself is contradictory as regards to the status of local government in Nigeria. We are operating a federal system, and under the principle of federalism, only two tiers of government are recognized, which is the federating unit, which is the state, and the central government, which is the federal government. But that does not mean Nigeria as a country cannot develop its own variant that will be widely known as Nigerian variant of federalism, where three tiers of government exist. But unfortunately, we wanted to do that. At the same time, we still want to go by the principle of federalism. The constitution recognizes three tiers of government, and at the same time, the constitution did not give responsibility to the third tier of government. For example, you see section 7, subsection 1 of the constitution mandates that every state must have local government, and those local government must be under democratically elected chairman. Unfortunately, you can see a situation where some state governments will not conduct election and only appoint caretaker. Unfortunately, the constitution that granted full recognition to local government as a third tier of government deny it of responsibility, because Under the second schedule, the constitution only give responsibility, created 3 responsibility: exclusive for federal, residual for state, and concurrent for federal and state, without local government. So the only thing the constitution did is to give some functions to the local government, which means the local government will only be operating within the shadow of the state. And to make the matter worse, the same constitution now empowers State House of Assembly to legislate for local government. That's why you see a situation where State Assembly can summon local government chairman and even suspend the local government chairman. Now, the highest of the conflict or contradiction of the constitution is that section that now empowers the state governor to receive allocation of federal government, of local government, directly from the federal government. So money cannot go from the federal purse to local government. But you know, Nigeria sometimes, I don't know who advises our political elite. Yes, you know, remember sometimes they go, Buhari sign an executive order trying to say money will now go directly. That is unconstitutional. As far as those sections of these constitutions are not amended, that executive order cannot stand, and that is the bane of local government as we have. That means that for now we cannot have local government autonomy. There is nothing like local government autonomy. I just laugh when I hear people saying we are craving for local government autonomy. Where will you see it? Until that constitutional defect is addressed, is amended. Yes, without amendment to the constitution, there is nothing like. Will the federal government give money directly to local government? That will be in contradiction with, of the local government. And if the president should do that, that is gross misconduct and is impeachable. And summarily now, we are able to say that there is no local government administration that exists in Nigeria, going by all these analysis. What we have now is just local administration as a tool in the hand of state governments. That is what we have. So it is not a government in its own right. It's just an administrative tool in the hand of state governments. That means we cannot even say we cannot assess their performances we can't assess their performance because those that are in the office in Kwara, did we vote for them? So they come to us to campaign for us to now use that their campaign manifesto as a yardstick to measure their performance. So before we can say we want to assess, we must have elected local government chairmen who will have stayed for a period of time. Then we now evaluate. But even if we have elected local government chairmen, as long as the state government did not allow them to perform, that's why, you know, something is common in Nigeria. Something is common in Nigeria. You see a situation when allocation is received into the JAC account. Instead for the governor to give them their money, the governor will now tell them, I've into this joint account, I've helped you to construct this road, I've helped you to do this, so I'm removing the money. So in most cases, what remains that the governor gives to the local government chairman is just the money that will be used to pay the salary of the workers and maybe few thousands of naira for interest. All right, Dr. Bakare, let me ask you, ordinarily, what are the functions of a local government administration? What should be their role if actually we want to have development at the grassroots? Well, you see, the details of the role of the local government is enshrined in the Constitution, 4th schedule. But for us to truly have development, local government must be constitutionally empowered to perform those functions. Any local government that is able to perform those functions stated in the Constitution will bring development. And remember, the essence of local government is to bring development to the grassroots. You know, there is a theory in development that says the closer to the city capital, to the state capital, the more developed. That is, any city or town that is, the more you are closer to the seat of power, that is the more you develop. So which means local government, the essence of local government is to take development to the grassroots, to the rural area that are far away
from the
state capital. Yes, look at Ilorin. Hardly will you see any damage that happened in Ilorin that you, in the next 10-15 minutes the governor will not go there. Remember the last flooding that damaged the road, Songo Akerebiata road. Immediately the governor came back to the country or to the state, he went there. Assuming that happened in Kayama, do you think it will be easy for the government, for governor, to quickly go there? So,
definitely the governor will go there.
I know he will go there, but it won't be as fast as that. So the essence is that the more, if you are closer to the seat of power, you feel the impact of both federal and state governments. But if you are very far away, you will feel less impact. So the essence is for local government to be closer to those people there, so that local government can now bring development. And what are those developmental needs? Provision of water, potable water, healthcare, primary healthcare facilities, maintenance of primary school,
construction of bridges,
yes,
drains,
market stall, naming of streets. And look at, even the constitution allow local government to name streets. I can't remember whether in Ilorin local government has been named.
That exists, because once we approach the local government administration, for instance in Kwara, that I want so name to be named after me, yes, after us or something like that. They usually grant that through a process.
If they grant it, they don't have the sole power as far as this place is concerned. It will still go to town planning.
Ordinarily, don't you think since town planning regulates the entire
town planning is a state agency, is not supposed to regulate local government if local government have power to perform those functions.
So indirectly what you are saying.
And look at another thing. Registration of birth and death. Is local government registering birth and death? It is now National Population Commission that is doing that. So local government has a lot of problems.
I think the reason why they are having that as national is just to know the population census of the.
But there are supposed to be synergy. There are supposed to be a database where each local government will register birth and death, and it goes straight
to a centralized.
Yes, to a centralized. So yes, National Population Commission can only go there to extract when they need information. All right. So we have a lot of things wrong with local government administration in Nigeria. A lot.
All right. If we are to make the local government administration functional in Nigeria, what would be your suggestions?
Well, my suggestion is that, you see, the items on the exclusive list that belongs to the federal government should be thrown down. And in the process of doing that, those power, those responsibilities should not be given to state government. There are some responsibilities that should be given straight to local government. The constitution, we can operate our own variant of federalism, that Nigerian federalism has 3 tiers. And if we must operate 2, let the state go. Let us operate federal and local government.
That means we don't have governor any longer.
What is the essence of the governor if local government chairman can perform the role, the function?
Will it not be too much?
It's not going to be too much. You know, at the local government level, we will know each other. We can assess the local government chairman. The politics at the center will reduce. Everybody will go back to his town and villages to vie for local government chairman. The chairman will become powerful. But at that level, we will know each other. We can approach each other. You know, it is less difficult for you to enter local government than to enter government house, state government house, and it is more difficult to enter Aso Rock. So the up you go in governance, the more difficult it gives you to access those in power. But if much of the power at the local level, We understand our problem. It's not compulsory you must be an indigene of a local government before you can serve as chairman, as long as you are resident. And that's what they are doing in the US. The mayoral council that they are using in the US, it is not compulsory that you must be from that state, as long as you are resident. But the way we play our politics also is adding to that. In Lagos, you can become anything. You can become, in fact, the senators representing Lagos in the National Assembly are mainly not from, they are not from Lagos.
All right, Dr. Bakare, the 2023 election is around the corner. And a lot of people are skeptical about whether the election will hold or not. But that is a discussion for another time. But ahead of that 2023 general election, what is your advice for politicians, the electorate, and other stakeholders that we involve in the election processes so that we can have each free 2023 polls?
Well, I don't have too much advice for politicians, because advice politicians from today till tomorrow is going to fall at the back of their head because their interest is to capture power. But my only advice will be for the citizen that we should have gone beyond vote selling. We should have gone beyond voting for party. By now we should be voting for capacity, individual with integrity. What can you offer? What has been your track record? What have you done before? What are you likely to do? By the time we begin to engage the politicians, they will know that the era of just bamboozling their way, distributing one cup of rice and 500 naira, 1,000 for people to vote them is over. Let us take our destiny into our own hands. Let us vote for credible candidates. If anybody is in power and is doing fine, let's renew his mandate. If he's not doing fine, we are the real owner of the mandate. So that is my advice.
Well, for 20 minutes or thereabout, Dr. Adebola Bakare has been telling us what we need to do as far as local government administration is concerned in Nigeria. So also you also advise us, particularly with the citizen, what we should do ahead of the 2023 general election. Now we now move on to sports. Nigeria will play joint host Australia, Canada and Republic of Ireland in Group B of the 9th FIFA Women's World Cup Finals happening in summer of next year. At the draw ceremony held in Auckland on Saturday, Nigeria will play Canada in a first match of the competition to be staged in a total of 9 cities, 5 in Australia and 4 in New Zealand, which will be best of 32 teams, the biggest in the history of the FIFA Women's World Cup since it began in China in 1991. And that sports tidbit wraps it up on NTA ILORIN Weekend Report. Thanks for being part of the show. Good night.